Just helped someone avoid the hurt child/accident scam. Just got a call from my girlfriend's dad asking if I knew where she was. They just got a call she was in an accident and arrested. He did call the number they gave, but they didn't pick up, I guess. But he still tried to see what was up. Unfortunately, she was sleeping and missed it, but as soon as he said she called crying, I said, "That's a scam," immediately, and gave details about it that he was like, yep. She's fine, car is fine, just a dumb scam. But this place helped me identify it immediately. Gave the usual never call numbers someone gives you, never give money or info to anyone who calls you. And now I'm really going to make the common scam list to give to her parents and mine. Make up a family password. Oh, that's not a bad idea. So you immediately know if you're talking to the legit family member. It sucks we even have to do this, but ugh. US. I don't want to be a jerk. Any way I can decline their money? Got this text this morning and they accidentally sent me money. After telling them they have the wrong number, they start frantically texting and calling me asking for me to send it back. The second picture is a text from the person who was supposed to receive the money. There were previous texts from this person explaining that they had given someone the wrong number, but I deleted these, trying to block them after they started calling me. It sounds like a scam, but the recipient's phone number is one of the numbers off of mine, so that makes me worried it was really an accident. What can I do? Can they fix it somehow on their end? Like I told them, I don't even have my Apple Pay set up, so I don't have the money / don't know if I can decline it. I feel so bad. Hey boo, finna send it now, $105. You have the wrong number. Could you send it back, please? Sorry, the person gave me the wrong number. Can you send me my money back, please? $105 request. Please, I'm begging, please. Please, that was my last money. I can't even feed my kids or nothing. I hope you find it in your heart to send it back. I'll even let you keep some. It is 5 a.m. Stop calling me. I don't even have Apple Pay set up. You'll have to work it out with your bank. Just block them. They can contact however they sent it to get it fixed. If you send it back, you are sending them your money. I'll even let you keep some equals scam. I almost got scammed. Shout out this subreddit for keeping me on my toes and watching for red flags. Lady called pretending to be with Chase, saying someone logged into my online banking and was changing my personal info and adding a device and trying to reactivate an old debit card. She had all my information and asked me to confirm my address. Then she said they were going to, quote, remove all the fake info, reset my PIN, and get me all set. All I had to do was confirm my PIN with her. That's when I said, I'm not comfortable giving that over the phone. She kept trying to get me to give it by saying, I'm just trying to do my job, help secure your account, things like that. So I hung up. Then I enabled two-factor authentication on that account, which you should do. Everyone should do that if it's possible for whatever, service you're using, and changed my password. Thanks to everyone who gives solid advice about what your bank will not ask for over the phone. Yeah, always a good thing to know what companies or services, once again, what they will discuss on the phone. If they don't talk about it on the phone, they'll either send a letter like the IRS or some shit. I don't know. Yeah, it's good to know those things. New employer sent me a check and now wants me to pay a vendor in Bitcoin. I applied to a job on Indeed as a customer service / personal assistant position. After a few emails back and forth, he offered me the position. It's through a company called Builders VC. I looked up the company and it seems legit. He sent me a check in the mail including a sign-on bonus and funds to send to a vendor so that they can send me work from home equipment. He says the vendor wants to receive the money in Bitcoin, so he has been having me use Cash App to send the money, but now it's not letting me for security reasons. He has now requested that I withdraw cash from the bank and take it to a Bitcoin ATM to send to the vendor. I have not used any of my own money, only the money he sent in the check. Is this a scam? It seems fishy to me. I've never been asked to do something like this, but also he sent me money, which seems like something a scammer might not do? I'm not sure. Please help. Edit, thank you to everyone who has been helpful. I have contacted my bank and they are working with me now. Unfortunately, I lost $2,000, oof, but I'm not in the red and everything will be okay. I appreciate those of you who have been gracious with me. I know I ignored some red flags, but hindsight is 20/20. That check will bounce soon. This is a huge scam, dude. Meaning that OP is using their own money. They just don't know it yet. It's crazy to think they don't understand that they are using their own money and not the check. Well, not everyone is going to know these things. You can't just say like, how did this guy not know he was getting scammed? What an idiot. It's like, dude, new scams are being made up every day, dude. Like, let's be a little more thoughtful to people maybe, huh? US. Elon Musk scamming my grandmother-in-law. I've called the cops to speak with her, now she has blocked me. My grandmother-in-law has been in a relationship with Elon Musk, quote-unquote, which is a terrible idea, for about a year now. It started by signing her up for a Tesla phone, then they got her information. She has given over $60,000 in gift cards. I took advice from my previous post, and I have filed a report with IC3 and Elderly Protective Services. Yesterday, I called the sheriff's office to go speak to her, and she is livid with me. She has blocked my phone number. What other steps can I take? My father-in-law her only son is dragging his feet. I told him he needs to get power of attorney or get authorized for all of her transactions. Am I overstepping as an in-law? I'm trying my best to protect her and help her realize she is not speaking with the real Elon Musk. Can Grandma explain why the richest man in the world needs her $60,000? She is a lost cause, sorry to say. Just don't let her drag you down. It all tied up in investments. Duh. The biggest problem with romance scammers is the scammer is telling the victim what she wants to hear. Anyone else is telling the victim things she doesn't want to hear, and the scammer says it's because they don't want her to be happy and should block them out of her life. At some point, the victim is so invested they have to keep believing because they know that they are going to look like a fool to admit they are wrong. Unfortunately, the only way to end this is usually when the victim runs out of money and the scammer ghosts. There's a YouTube channel called Catfish that investigates scams like this, but the victim first has to want to know the truth. So very sorry to hear what you're going through. There's a special place in hell for scammers. I agree. US relative lost $160,000 after handing over gold bars to couriers. Wow. Me. Relative received a pop-up message on his computer. He had a virus and all his financial data had been compromised. The Microsoft rep transferred him to Financial Crimes Division. This group said his bank details had been involved in a pornography ring. This law enforcement group convinced him that in order to secure his assets, he needs to convert his savings into gold bars and have them stored in a safe location. Once the case is over, he'll have access to the money again. He drove down to a local gold place and bought $80,000 twice in a few days. The scammers then arranged for local couriers to to pick up the gold. He wasn't allowed to talk to anyone about it or they'd be subpoenaed and tied to the case. Lied to his financial advisor, family, and the bank. I've seen stories from all over the country with the exact same pattern and process as that my relative fell for. We managed to convince him it was a scam and just caught it in time before he went to buy another $200,000 of gold. Reported to FBI, local police, etc. Money is gone though. They said they've set up stings across the country, but the victims usually back out and stop helping law enforcement at the last minute. Tough lesson to learn from my relative, but sharing for visibility. US, my grandmother-in-law is in a relationship with Elon Musk. Oh, here we go again. Per my last post, my grandmother-in-law believes she is in a romantic relationship with Elon Musk. Once again, terrible idea. This has been going on for almost a year. They used to talk on Zangai? I've never heard of this before. Until we figured that out and deleted her account. I'm not sure of how she is talking to him this time, but he just sent her jewelry. I did a reverse Google image search and it came up on Sheen for $10. I'm learning a lot of new scam websites for $10. She sent me a picture of it seemingly to brag that he's real and this jewelry is real. I've tried to talk to her about it and she gets mad at me and tells me to leave it be. What are suggestions on what to do? She will not give me his contact information. Do I get someone from the local police to go talk to her? I don't know what to do, being that her only son isn't taking much action. Yeah, that looks... I mean, I'm not a jewelry expert, but something about it gives me vibes of not being legit. Yeah, like, I mean, come on, look at all that. It just, there's something about the metal. I don't know. It also just kind of looks like it, in my opinion. You could suggest that she get the jewelry insured, which would require an appraisal by a jeweler who presumably would tell her that it's junk. Hey, heart emoji. Hey, I'm Nicole. Excuse me, is this Annie? Hey, huh? Hey, huh? Hey. What? Hey. What? Hey. I'm Nicole. Hey. Annie? Hey? Yes, no. Hey. No. Hey. Sorry. Hey. Wrong number. Hey. Nice to meet you. Hey. Hey. You are hey. Hey. Yeah. Hey, sorry, I have to go find Annie. I don't have time to play with you now. See you next time. Dude, my roommates probably think I'm insane. New hotel scam going around. I came across this post on Indeed, of all places, and wanted to share it here. I know a lot of people are gonna be traveling for the summer. Just got my attention so much because I would fall for this in a minute. New hotel scam. This is one of the smartest scams I have heard about. You arrive at your hotel and check in at the front desk. Typically, when checking in, you give the front desk your credit card for any charges to your room, and they don't retain the card. You go to your room and settle in. All is good. The hotel receives a call, and the caller asks for, as an example, room 620, which happens to be your room. The phone rings in your room. You answer, and the person on the other end says the following. This is the front desk. When checking in, we came across a problem with your charge card information. Please reread me your credit card numbers and verify the last 3-digit numbers at the reverse side of your charge card. What a weird, you could just say like credit card or debit card or card you want to be charged with. I don't know. Not thinking anything wrong, since the call seems to come from the front desk, you oblige. But actually, it is a scam by someone calling from outside the hotel. They have asked for a random room number, then ask you for your credit card and address information. They sound so professional that you think you are talking to the front desk. If you ever encounter this scenario on your travels, tell the caller that you will be down to the front desk to clear up any problems. Then go to the front desk or call directly and ask if there was a problem. If there was none, inform the manager of the hotel that someone tried to scam you of your credit card information, acting like a front desk employee. This was sent by someone who has been duped and is still cleaning up the mess. P.S. Please consider spreading the word by forwarding this message. Who knows? You might just help someone avoid a nasty experience. All traveling often should be aware of this one. This is not a new scam, but probably new to the next generation, so it makes sense to share it, and easily prevented. If hotel receptions stop forwarding outside calls directly to rooms, which makes no sense anyway, since everyone has a mobile phone now, especially when somebody asks to be connected to the person in room XXX without knowing the name, connecting them would not be the logical thing to do. I've been to over 50 countries. The universal rule I adhere to is simple. If someone approaches you out of the blue and tries to strike up a conversation, they almost always have an ulterior motive. At best, they're a tout or a hawker. I don't know what those are. At worst, they're a scammer or pickpocket. I know what those are. Ignore them completely. Don't acknowledge them. Don't make eye contact. Don't take anything from them. Turn on rest face and keep walking. Once they realize you're wise to the shit, they'll quickly move on to a more gullible mark. Scammers prey on people's aversion to appearing rude. Novice travelers frequently make the mistake of, well, what if I'm rude to someone that isn't a scammer? It's better to be rude to that 1 in 100 person that wasn't trying to con you than it is to engage with the 99 that are trying to f over. This reminds me of, I was leaving a convention, just walking down the streets of Denver, and there was this guy. He had a bunch of bracelets on his arm. He had a clipboard in his hand. I didn't notice that at first, but he reaches out with a bracelet and is like, hey, do you want a bracelet? And I was like, yeah, sure, I'd love one. And then he shows me the clipboard and goes, by the way, would you like to make a donation to something, I don't know. I completely forgot what it was. Don't care. And I was like, oh, well, no, thank you. And I just start to walk away because my friends are walking away and I'm trying to catch up. And he's like, I need the bracelet back though. And I was like, oh, okay. I thought you were just like someone just, I don't know, being cool and handing me a bracelet because I don't fucking know. I don't know. Yeah. And I felt bad. I felt really bad saying, oh no, I don't want to give you money. Sorry. I gotta go. And then I just immediately didn't feel bad anymore when he was like, oh, I want the bracelet back. And I was like, okay. Bye, dude. I hope no one gives you money. Some advice from an Italian living in Italy to those who want to travel to Italy to avoid scams. If you go to Rome or the main Italian cities, pay close attention to these things. Never accept bracelets or necklaces from those who tell you that they are gifts. I can't believe it. They are never gifts and will probably ask you for money back. Sometimes they throw you the bracelet so that you instinctively take it, and then, as above, they try to convince you to take something out to send them away. The only advice in these cases is to completely ignore these people and not stop to talk to them at all. I've since learned this, even at the risk of being considered rude. In Florence, some guys put fake paintings on the ground in the middle of the crowd, where one can easily step on them and then ask for money for compensation. They are not usually aggressive, but only slightly insistent. Even in that case, it is better to completely ignore the people and go away pretending not to hear them. In Naples, as stated in the initial point, there are people dressed as pulcinella or Neapolitan horn sellers. The former offer you a photo with them and then expect to be paid, a bit like those who are dressed as gladiators at the Colosseum. For the latter, sellers of bracelets, horns, handkerchiefs, or various knickknacks, the approach is sometimes simply like, "Hey guys, can I ask you for a favor?" Never answer. Ignore them and carry on. Their goal is only to make you buy something and extort money. Finally, always be careful around tourist sites or of those who offer to give you directions, to take a photo, or give you suggestions on how to do it. It is never free and always paid. For taxis, always make sure the taximeter is on. Never negotiate the price first and find out about the official rates on the websites of the municipal administrations of the cities where you are, so you can point out to taxi drivers, in the event that they propose a certain price, that theirs is too high. If you intend to pay by card, always point this out to the taxi driver first, since some use the excuse of having a broken piece of shit to evade taxes. I don't know if that's actually what POS means in this context, but I think it's funny, so I'm going to say piece of shit. Furthermore, official taxis throughout Italy are white, the others are abusive and illegal. To eat, avoid restaurants or bars in the most central tourist streets. They are usually only crowded with tourists, especially those with waiters outside inviting you to come in. You eat badly and spend a lot. Try to go to eat outside the tourist areas where Italians usually go. If you really have to go to a tourist area, even for a coffee, always ask for the menu first. At least you know how much you will spend. To visit operas, parks, museums, and monuments, always book on the official websites of the opera or museum, and never buy fake tickets or tours from those who want to extort money from you to offer you a tour at the last minute by skipping the line. They are ripping you off on the price, probably making you pay double. For now, this is all that comes to mind. For any other questions or doubts, I remain at your disposal. Can someone please tell me if I'm crazy or if this is just really, really creepy? Is anybody else getting personally warned by random people in this community? Hello, how are you? Jigsaw profile photo. Fine, who is this? I was contacting you to warn you away from the r/scambait subreddit. The place has become corrupted recently. Meaning what? Corrupted with scammers? How has it been corrupted? So are you taking time privately to warn everybody? Never trust Jigsaw. Yeah, that was the first red flag. Scam alert, I lost $55,000. Oh my god. I was scammed out of $55,000 by what I thought was a legitimate online car dealership. They had a professional looking website, answered phone calls, and even FaceTimed me. They sent a Carfax report. I added the car to my insurance, and everything seemed real. After wiring the money, I was in contact with a truck driver who was supposed to deliver the car, but it never arrived. Soon after, their phone lines went dead, the website disappeared, and I realized I had been scammed. I filed reports with my bank, the FBI, IC3, and local police, but I've had no follow-up. Now I've discovered what looks like the same scammers using a nearly identical website and the same address. I believe they are still actively scamming people. Does anybody have advice for me? Watch out for !recovery scammers. Since you chose to pay them using non-protected means of payment, you unfortunately are not going to get the money back. The only way here is to communicate with your bank and the police, and understand that your bank is the only one that can do anything regarding tracing the payment on this front. And if they tell you it's gone, then accept the loss and don't listen to any of the scammers that definitely will be contacting you. You can't imagine how naive I really am. Got a text last night from a 415 number. Quote, "Hello, I'm Mina. Can our riding lessons start next week? I just happen to have a large barn with a couple of horses. My neighbor girl also boards her horses there and gives lessons. She handles all the scheduling, so I didn't know how Mina got my number. So I run out to the barn, look at the whiteboard, and see that there's an opening on Monday morning. I text back, yes, I have time Monday morning at 8. I will meet you at the stable. Mina answers back, are you kidding me? Uh-oh, somebody that doesn't enjoy sunrises like I do. I send her a picture of one of the horses and asks, what time works better for you? Then she realizes that she has entered the wrong number and apologizes. We then make small talk about weather and then travel plans, and I say goodbye. I called my neighbor and told her this story. She immediately tells me that I was almost scammed. They would have sent money, fake, canceled, then asked for a refund. I am so gullible, I am glad I have good neighbors." The scam is not specific to horses or anything else. The idea is just send a message which is clearly an error so that the person replies with a, sorry, you've got the wrong number, at which point they apologize and ask how your day is going or something similar. The goal is to start a friendly conversation and then move into a romance scam or a poor single mom about to get evicted, etc., etc. Based on whatever they learn from your conversation. They were genuinely confused when you responded as you did and weren't sure if you actually ran a stable or were just trying to mess with them because you knew it was a scam. I now just automatically block all wrong numbers with no response. See, when I do it, I just don't answer any calls from numbers I don't recognize, or I don't answer texts. Hello, I'm kind of busy. What's the scam that I can reject you on? You should go find your mother and tear her leg off. Uh-oh, someone's mad that they didn't get away with it. Tried to prevent someone from getting scammed at the store, but she didn't listen. Thanks to this subreddit, I was aware of the scam where some lady with all her kids comes up to you and asks you to buy her groceries. It actually happened to me just 30 minutes ago. She approached me with 4 kids and one of the large empty carts saying, I don't have any money, can you buy me groceries? Her kid then says, please sir, please, like a corny script. I tell them I don't fall for those scams. She walked away without a word. I immediately reported her to the store manager. About 10 minutes later, I'm checking out and guess who is in line a few people behind me? It's the lady and her kids with a full cart. She roped in some older lady. I should have been more ready with an article or something pulled up, but I just quickly went over and tried to let the lady know she was being scammed. She got defensive and said, well, I'm not giving her money, it's items, and she has her kids with her. I said, you can spend your money if you want to, but I needed to at least let you know. You can look it up yourself, it's a scam. The scammer didn't say a word and didn't look at me at all. I let the manager know again on the way out. I feel like a dummy for not being more prepared about what exactly it was the scammer would do. There's so many scams to be aware of, I couldn't keep track of what specifically it was. Obviously, now that I'm in my car and looked it up, I remembered it was about the receipts. I feel bad I didn't remember at the time, but I just wanted to do the right thing. I am shook that it really happened in front of me. Using your kids to scam people is more than nasty. US. It blows my mind how successful these scammers are. I went to Alaska for 5 months in 2014 and worked with a bunch of Filipinos and Caucasians. Not, almost every Caucasian that has been working in Alaska for more than 1 season was dating a model-looking Filipino who they've never met, from the plant manager down to the grunts. My bunkie was a 27-year-old who constantly bragged about this girl to me. I asked if they've ever met. No. Have they video chatted? He said no. They mostly text. I do not. I asked him to call her, and they said that she's really shy and doesn't like talking. So he calls her, and the girl says hi, and then pretends that the connection was going out, laughing emojis. It was a damn scammer. Probably one of his coworkers who he exchanged the numbers with. I told him that it's a scammer, and he defended her. Ego is a crazy thing. The next day, the scammer gets my bunkie to send her 2 weeks worth of pay for a medical emergency. Poor guy was making $7.25 an hour, getting taxed to hell back on his 100+ hourly checks, and he sends $1,500. Oh man, if your friends are telling you about something that's probably fishy or scammy or whatever, they're just looking out for you. Maybe give it some thought before you put your ego above that. I don't know. There are positively no women in Alaska. You don't go there because things are going well. They're paying to pretend someone loves them. Did anyone else receive a text from Elon? Oh boy, he's back. Hello, good day. This is Elon Musk Tesla. That's his full legal name, by the way. Did you got any messages from my manager yet? Question marks? We are happy to inform you that your name have been randomly selected as a new beneficiary with a sum of $500 $500 million, $500,000.00. I think they meant to put a million. I don't know. To help people pay off debts such as mortgages, medical bills, and unpaid bills, as well to support the disabled. Yeah, first sign, this isn't Elon Musk. He doesn't care about anyone but himself, so he would not do this at all. Just saying. Blah, blah, blah. Proceed immediately. Thank you. Do not call. Only text. Congratulations to you and the 4 other people once again. This is so funny to me. The grammar and the group chat? Yeah, no. Group chat is also a thing. If you get a weird message and it's to a bunch of random other people or like an email or something, that's a pretty good sign that it's also a scam, which is stupid on the scammer's part because, like, dude, like you would think they'd only want to send it to one person because, like, you know, if it's a bunch of other people, then it just makes it look less genuine. Come on. France. I prevented an elderly couple from getting trans cash scammed through emails. I work at a tobacconist news agent, not sure of the word in English, a small shop that sells cigarettes, magazines, and newspapers. And yesterday afternoon, an elderly couple walked in to buy 3 €263 trans cash charges. After hearing them talk about those charges having been requested by some cousin who was stuck in the hospital, I got suspicious of a scam. I asked them more about what or who it was for and if I could possibly see the email, and seeing the weird turns of phrases and pressing tone of the message, it became clear it was indeed a scam from the pirated Gmail account of the cousin. I told them that they should absolutely try to call their cousin. They said that in the mails, the cousin was saying she didn't have access to a phone in the hospital room and that she was ashamed of what happened to her and to please not talk about it to anyone. I explained that those requests were even more suspicious, but if they wanted to abide by it just in case, they could simply call someone close to the cousin and just ask them matter-of-factly if they've seen her recently or if she was with them, without mentioning the hospital. They did on the spot, called their cousin's husband on speakerphone, who said that she was with him running errands, and they learned that indeed everyone had received those scammy mails. They thanked me profusely, and the cousin also thanked me on speakerphone, and I just felt like putting on a cape and running around the store. I was told this story would be welcomed here. Smile. I apologize if it doesn't fit on this sub, but I just felt like sharing awareness. Have a nice day, everyone. I would say that's very much welcome to the sub. It's letting people know what to watch out for. We have a rather unusual scam and need advice. The other day, my husband noticed his Chrome browser password setting was up. Then the next day, he asked if I purchased a $1,000 iPad from Best Buy and a $900 phone from a seller on Mercari. He doesn't have a Mercari account. Sure enough, payments processed through PayPal, which also shows on our bank account. Here's when it gets weird. He was sent a photo of the iPad being delivered, and of course PayPal has the address. It's in our own town about 10 miles away, so when he told me this, I said, I'm going to get the iPad. Upon arriving, a young man answered, and I said, I'm here to pick up my iPad. He seemed confused. I told him I knew it was delivered, and either I want my iPad or the money. He closed the door 5 minutes later. I knocked, and said, give me my iPad or money or the next knock will be from the police. He then shows up with it, demanding to see my ID. The box had my husband's name and their address. I told him no, I wasn't showing him my ID. He handed me the box, but should I call the police? Canada, the $8,000 wire scam. Here's a lesson to you all. If your gut is telling you it's a scam, it's a scam. I work for an FI, and I had this older couple come in. They wanted to send a wire transfer to China. No problem. I asked them questions, and all seemed to line up as they knew this person. What was interesting was how they had every single piece of information needed for the wire, despite never sending one. So I asked more questions, and my gut kept screaming scam. I even told them. I googled the company the funds were being sent to, and that didn't match with what they told me. They insisted that I continue, so I did, but it felt off. Lo and behold, the next day they come in with their daughter, and it was a scam. I felt terrible. We did everything we could to try to retrieve their funds and had been waiting for an answer. My manager even said there wasn't much we could have done differently, as the customers claimed to know the receiver very well. Thank goodness, today we received their funds back. The wire never made it to China. The turnaround time to stop the wire was the perfect amount of time. I called the couple today and we both cried over the phone. $8,000 is a lot of money. If your gut is telling you something is off, off. Please listen. Ask questions if you're unsure, go to the bank. We're always there to help. That's good ending. I was expecting something way worse near the end. Are you okay? Yes. How are you? It's me, Helena. Did I really send a message to my friend Lisa? Hi, my name is Jessica. You look like an Asian, lol. Okay. Asian from California. Can't be named Jessica? Okay, you are very beautiful, by the way. Better looking than you. Lol, you're so beautiful. I kind of like you. My boobs are bigger than yours, and I'm Asian. Yeah, lol, I know, show me. What, are you lesbian? Blah. No, lol, I just want to see it. That sounds pretty gay. In which country do you work as a scammer, bro? I like how the scammer asks that. Like, oh, I'm curious. So I just started scamming myself. Maybe we could like get to know each other, share some strategies. I like this whole lesbian thing you got going on. I don't know why you were so disgusted by it. I think it's, perfectly fine. It's 2025.